Most welcome to you all. In our new show today we will discuss the Bible and we want to make connection. Rابطہ. My name is Simon van der Lucht and I'm here together with my two honored guests, and I hope that you can introduce yourself to the audience and the viewers that we have. Maybe I can start with you.
Yes, my name is Sonal. I am 21 years old and I am here on behalf of our youth to ask some questions and get our answers.
And then the next.
I am Minahil. I am 17 years old and same story. I'm here on behalf of the youth to ask my questions.
Yeah, very good, very good. And what is the interest of you to join this program and to ask your questions? Why are you interested? Maybe you can start.
Okay. It is because as youth we sit along with each other and we talk about Bible, and there are some questions or there are some things that are not described in the Bible. So we have questions and then we try to figure it out ourselves, but we do not know the Bible fully as well as you know. So we do have some questions and we always come to a conclusions by ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's why, to clear it out for sure, we are here with you.
Well, that gives me a great honor to give some answers, and indeed I, as an experienced believer, I have, read the Bible many times, so maybe I can help a little bit. But maybe also it counts for you that you already know a little bit of the Bible, isn't it?
Yeah, I know a little bit about the Bible, but I have seen that there are many people out there, many young people out there, and they're also Christians, but they don't know about the Bible. They assume they know, but it's not really true. They know it about while watching some TV shows or watching a Christian movie, then they think that they know about the Bible.
Yeah.
But that's not just it.
No.
There's more to it.
Sure. And we hope to achieve that we discussing the questions that you have to find out good answers. Valid answers to the questions that you have. And I also want to address those who are viewing. If you have a question, please don't hesitate and try to reach us, and maybe next time we can answer also your questions about the Bible or whatever questions you have about life. Today we will start with the first book of the Bible, the book Genesis. And I will read a small part of it and then we will discuss the questions that you have.
Yes.
We read Genesis chapter 1. And I start in verse 26. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him, male and female. He created them. And God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it, rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, and over every living creature that moves on the ground." Okay, now let's start. What kind of questions is there that you can ask to clarify?
So I had a
start.
question, because we hear most of the time that people talk about there was Adam and there was a woman, as we read, there was man and woman, and after a while, after you read a part, you will come to know there was God made Eve also, but before that there's written a male and a female. So we hear a lot of time that there was Adam and Lilith, the first
Lilith.
woman. The first woman was Lilith, and God made them together with the same thing, so not with rib. And my question is that true that there was Lilith was the first woman and not Eve?
Okay, well, that's a good one to start with. Then we have to say that the Bible tells in the next chapter more in detail about the creation of man and woman. In the first chapter, he talks about the general impression, the general form of man, let's say. It says, God created man in his own image, man in the meaning of mankind, man and women together. And then he created him, male, and then it says male and female. It not in this part he does not say Adam and Eve. There were no names.
Yes.
It is about the fact that when you see around you, then you see boys and girls, men and women, male and female. That's the general impression that you have. But then, in the next chapter, the Bible tells about how it came to be that there was a man and a woman. And maybe you have heard already the summary of the story. Maybe you can summarize a little bit of what you know about this creation process.
Well, I'm just thinking about it now.
Okay.
And I have a question, because what I understand, well, what you're saying is that there was mankind. So that means Adam was also not the first person on earth. Or is that not what you're saying?
Well, that's another interesting question, but that I think distracts us from the starting question. So maybe we can postpone it a little bit.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. But my question to you was, can you summarize a little bit about what is God doing creating man?
Well, I think that, it is written that it's, what was it?
Yeah.
He made himself into him.
Yeah. He said he created from the dust and the earth a man, and then he blew the spirit in the man. And then he created out of the rib, indeed, the rib of the man, the woman. And the first name, that is very interesting, that man and women got, were, I have to speak Hebrew now a little bit, Ish and Isha. There was no Lilith, not at all. Ish and Isha. And now you see man and woman.
Yeah.
So you hear the Hebrew says these two belong together. You can hear it when you hear the names.
Yeah.
And later on, after what happens with the snake and the sin, well, maybe that's another story to discuss once, then comes the name Eve. Later on, God gave, or man gave his wife the name Eve. So that's the origin of the name Eve. And Adam, that is the Hebrew word for the dust on the ground. So it characterizes man as being created from the dust of the earth. Maybe you know what happens or what the pastor says when we bury people. It's a very famous sentence that always is quoted. Dust to dust. Well, that's the origin from the Bible. And it means that Adam was made
From dust.
And he had a wife, Isha, and he called her later on Eve. So the story about Lilith, you said this story is going on between young people. What kind of source do they have, do you think? What do they say?
Yeah, I have searched it on internet
Yeah.
by myself, and I
Okay.
found a story about Lilith, that she was in the Garden of Eden, and then Satan came to her and told her, "Come with me," and now is she a part of that category
Okay.
and not
Okay.
not a
Yeah.
child of God anymore?
And did you do some more research about the origin of the Lilith story?
No, because
No.
at the end I also thought that if it was true, it should have been written in the Bible.
Exactly. That's a very important thing that we now come to. The source of the stories is for us as Christians only valuable and reliable when it comes from the Bible. And I can tell you, I've read the Bible many times, the name of Lilith is not in the Genesis story, not at all. So the first woman, the first wife of man was indeed Eve. And the question is, what do we do now see as men and women come together, for example, when they meet and they get married, then we see what is intended by God in the first story of the Bible. Man was one person. God made two out of one, and when you marry, you become one again.
Yes.
Two people joined together. So this is not only about what is the exact what has exactly happened, but also what is the spiritual meaning of this story, and that is even more important than did Lilith has been part of the Bible.
Yeah.
So this give a kind of answer to your question.
Yes, it does.
Well, then maybe we can move forward, and then you already made the next question.
Yeah.
Please repeat.
Well, I was thinking, you said there was mankind.
Yeah.
So not a man or a woman first, there was mankind.
Yeah.
Does that mean that there was someone else before Adam and Eve?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's return to the quote that I gave from the first chapter. Huh? So God created man in his own image, and he created him. So, to be honest, the very exact translation of the Hebrew text is that there is spoken about one person.
Yeah.
But the meaning is he, as a person, represents mankind.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean. And the question, are there other people, is relevant because this is the question about, is there a kind of evolution? Has there been an evolution of man?
Yeah.
Let's say from Homo sapiens to the modern man.
Yeah.
Well, that's another question, and that takes a lot of time to elaborate that. So my proposal is to postpone that to the next show that we make.
Okay.
So for today, we come to a closure. We have read this part from the Bible, from the beginning of the Bible, and we hope that we give some answers to questions that you have about what is written, what is true, what is the meaning of what is written in the Bible. I hope to see you next time. Thank you for watching.
Do not forget to like the video, subscribe BTL TV, and press the bell icon to receive notifications.
Jesus is the light of the world.